Hello, my friends. Today we'll be talking about the NerdQaxe revision 6 and the fact that it can hash rate at 6 terahash a second because of the quality of the parts that allows it to stay overclocked to maintain this hash rate. But is it worth it? I mean, I use the stock settings and I will show you exactly in a minute what this means. And it hashes around 4.8 terahashes a second at 75 watts at the wall. Now in the room it's hotter, and which means this time 85 watts at the wall. If you recall, last time it was 78.5 watts. It was cooler. So I've jumped to my computer and show you what I mean. Back to my computer. First I want to show you how the stats look at default overclocks. It runs pretty stable considering that I'm keeping it in a warm environment because my mining room is outside and Spain is hot in the summer. Okay, let's jump to the overclocking part. To overclock this little NerdQaxe++ Ref 6 to the stock overclocks that Power Mining uses when they send them to their clients, and see what happens. As you can see, these are the default overclocks for a NerdQaxe++ miner. 600 the frequency and 1150 the core voltage. I have the latest firmware at the time of recording this video installed. It can be flashed directly using this interface. More about flashing in an upcoming video. Going back to the mining settings, to be able to use custom numbers for the frequency and the core voltage sections, we need to click the danger zone. I am not responsible for any of the damage you might bring to your own miners. Do not do what I do if you don't know what you're doing, please. Small correction that I recorded at a later time. These are the real stock overclocks Power Mining sets the NerdQaxe++ Ref 6 at. So the frequency at 750 and the core voltage at 1250. For my test I used the core voltage at 1200 and I still achieved the 6 terahashes a second hash rate, which means my overclocks are better because I used less voltage by mistake, which means I'm a genius by mistake. I would say proceed anyway because I'm trying to replicate the stock overclocks, so it shouldn't be any problems, right? Right? No, it shouldn't, because this is what the Ref 6 stands for. It's about the quality of the parts that are soldered on the board of the ASIC miner. I will leave a link to the Power Mining's GitHub where you will find all the technical details if you want to look at. Okay, overclocks changed. We can see the frequency at 750 MHz, the ASIC voltage at 1.2 volts. If it would have been stuck, it would have been at 1.25. The expected hash rate is 6 terahash, 6.1. Okay, so we're good there. We're in red, everything is in red. Red is good every time. So if you see red, go for it every time. Now we're gonna see that the hash rate achieves the numbers we want. We can see here on the graph that everything spikes up, and I will leave it run a little bit, and I'm gonna jump to my professional camera recording system, which is my very nasty phone. For now it looks like it runs smoothly, but remember, mine is not in a cool environment. Just saying. At this hash rate, the power consumption in the software is almost 100 watts, and at the wall almost 117 watts. The temperature overall of the chips, the BM1370 ASIC chips, is 59 degrees. But this is an environment of 28 to 30 degrees, I think, by now. I don't have a thermometer to show you, but you have to believe me on my word, because I never lie, you know that. Checking the temperatures on the board, if I can focalize this a bit. So closer to the fan, of course, it's cooler. And my miner overheated. Okay. So unless you run it in a very cold environment, you know, you should not use the overclocks that come with the revision 6 NerdQaxe miners. Back to my computer, we can see that from the graph that it didn't take too long for the miner to overheat. It lasted exactly the time I needed to go there and record for this video. It's like it knew what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna set this back to the default overclocks, because this is what fits my environment, my needs. And now we're getting to the purpose of this video. Is it worth it? I mean, to run it at the stock overclocks. Is it worth it? So I prepared like a rough math to check out the numbers and see if it really makes sense to keep the miner, even if in a cooler environment where it would run smoothly at 6 terahashes a second. Is it worth it? If we take my numbers from this video, we had 4.8-ish terahash a second at 85-ish watts at the wall compared to 6.1-ish terahash a second at 117-ish watts at the wall, which gives me an increase of roughly 1.3 terahash a second and 32 watts more at the wall, which means by my rough math a 27% increase in hash rate and a 37.6% increase in power consumption. The extra heat is not included in this calculation. This is not even linear. You need more power to increase less hash rate. If that makes sense, the more hash rate you want to achieve, the more and more power the miner would have to consume, assuming it will never overheat. You might say this would never happen in a cool environment. I'll make sure to test the miner in a freezer next time. Jokes aside, I hope you enjoyed this content. If you did, please give it a like, give me a subscribe, comment if you think I did something wrong, or if you think I should have tried something else besides a fridge or a freezer. Tell me what you think about solo miners. Is it worth investing in them? By the way, I have a 10% referral for the Power Mining Shop if you want to acquire any of their miners, which I'll link in the description of this video. And as always, thanks for watching.
On your mind, run it how you want. Node in your room, no middleman front. Hash rate small, but the vision is big. We don't chase luck, we just live like this. On your mind, and keep it yours alone. From your own node to your own home. Decentralized, yeah, we spread it wide. Every little hash helps turn the tide.